pray that I return alive, because next time, I might come back in a coffin." These were the exact words Sam Abraham said to his father as he left for Australia from India. Sam Abraham, 35, lived a peaceful life in Epping, Australia, with his wife Sophia and their 7-year-old son. The couple, originally from Kerala, had moved to Australia after landing jobs there. Every year, they would travel back to Kerala to spend time with their families. In October 2015, Sam, Sophia, and their son took a holiday and flew to India. After spending 2 weeks with family, it was time to go back. On the 12th of October, they said goodbye to everyone and left for Australia. Sam's parents had no idea that this would be the last time they would see their son. After arriving in Australia at night, Sam, Sophia, and their son finished their dinner and then went to bed. The next morning, as usual, Sophia woke up early. She went to the kitchen to make some coffee, then tried to wake up her husband, Sam. But today was different. Sam didn't wake up. At first, Sophia thought maybe he was just tired, but when he didn't respond, she started to get worried. She shook him, calling his name, but he stayed still, lost in a deep sleep. As she tried again and again, her worry turned into panic. Her heart raced and fear took over. She started calling his name louder, tears filling her eyes. The loud cries reached the neighbors and they rushed to her house. When they came inside and saw Sam lying there lifeless, they quickly called for an ambulance. The paramedics arrived, but after checking Sam, they confirmed the worst. Sam had passed away some time ago. Sophia was completely shocked. The news hit her like a heavy blow. Her mind couldn't understand what was happening. Her world seemed to fall apart in an instant. 3 days later, on October 15th, Sam's body was sent back to India. His family in Kerala received the heartbreaking news of his death. When Sam's father heard this, his heart shattered, and he began to cry uncontrollably. In the midst of his grief, Sam's father remembered something his son had said before leaving for Australia. "I might come back to Kerala in a coffin." Sam had also mentioned these words to some of his relatives, but none of them ever imagined that those words would come true so soon. Just 3 days later, on October 18th, Sam's body was brought to his family home in Kerala from Melbourne. After completing the necessary rituals, Sam was laid to rest behind the house in a place where he had once played as a child. The sadness was overwhelming, and it felt as though the whole village had lost a son. Meanwhile, Sophia couldn't stop crying. For 5 long days, she stayed at Sam's house, mourning the loss of the love of her life. Sophia realized that staying in India wouldn't work for her. She knew if she stayed there, she would lose her job. With so much sadness in her heart, she made a tough decision. She decided to go back to Australia. Sophia's sister lived there, and she believed that having her close might make things easier. On October 24th, Sophia and her son traveled back to Australia. She knew life had to go on, and despite the pain, she was ready to face the challenges ahead. Every Saturday, she would call Sam's parents in Kerala. Sam Abraham and Sophia grew up in Carval village in Kerala. They were neighbors and had been close friends since childhood. Sam had a deep love for singing, and every Sunday he would join the church choir for the prayers, singing along with everyone. Sophia, who also enjoyed singing, would often meet Sam at church. Because of their shared love for music, they completed their college studies together, and as the years went by, their friendship blossomed into love. In 2003, they made a promise to each other that after finishing their studies and finding jobs, they would get married. During this time, Sam moved to Dindigul in Tamil Nadu to pursue his MBA, while Sophia continued her postgraduate studies at Mahatma Gandhi University in Kottayam. She earned an MSc in electronics and later landed a job at an IT company in Bangalore. Eventually, she moved to Thiruvananthapuram for work. After finishing his studies, Sam began working at a local bank. Later, he moved to Dubai, where he took up a job at a UAE Forex exchange company. Both Sam and Sophia were making great progress in their careers, growing stronger in their respective paths. As time went by, they knew it was time to take the next step and decided to get married. Sam shared the news of his relationship with Sophia with his family, but his father in particular strongly opposed the idea of Sophia becoming their daughter-in-law. Sophia's family had a strong reputation, with her father being a retired defense officer. When Sam told Sophia that his family didn't approve of their marriage, she decided to speak directly to his father. She told him that if she couldn't marry Sam, she wouldn't be able to go on with her life. She couldn't imagine living without him. As time passed, Sophia's kindness and respectful attitude began to win over Sam's mother. She treated everyone with care, and her warmth gradually changed Sam's parents' hearts. Eventually, they realized that both Sam and Sophia were grown-ups, able to make their own choices in life. They understood that standing in the way of their happiness would not be right. In 2008, after overcoming so many challenges, Sam and Sophia finally got married. The following year, in 2009, their joy grew even more when they welcomed a baby boy into their lives. 10 months after Sam's death, on August 12, 2016, Sam's father received a shocking call from the police in Australia. The officers told him that his son had not died from a heart attack as everyone had believed, but had actually been murdered. They also told him that they had arrested Sam's wife, Sophia, on suspicion of being involved in the murder. This news hit Sam's family like a thunderbolt. If Sam had died from a heart attack, how could Sophia possibly be accused of murder? This question echoed in their minds, leaving everyone in a state of confusion. The truth came out through Sam's autopsy report, which completely changed the direction of the case. The report showed that Sam had not died from a heart attack at all. Instead, he had been poisoned with cyanide. The level of cyanide in his blood was so high that it was clear it had been the cause of his death. To make things even more mysterious, the report also found traces of a sedative in his system, suggesting that he might have been drugged before being poisoned. These findings made it clear that Sam's death wasn't caused by a natural heart attack, but was a carefully planned murder. With all the evidence pointing in this direction, the strongest suspicion immediately fell on Sam's wife, Sophia. But now a big question remained. How could Sophia, the woman who had been so devastated by her husband's death, be involved in something so horrible? Or was she being framed as part of a bigger plot? And why did the police start suspecting Sam's wife? The Australian police decided to approach the investigation in a very careful way. After receiving the post-mortem report, they didn't rush to question Sophia. Instead, they kept the critical details about the cyanide and sedative hidden from her. Their reasoning was based on a common tactic used in many investigations. In cases where the criminal isn't immediately identified, they often continue acting normally for some time, hoping that suspicion will fade. However, once they start to believe the investigation has cooled off and attention has shifted, they might begin to relax, making it easier for the police to spot signs of guilt. Understanding this, the police set up multiple surveillance teams to keep Sophia under close watch without her knowing. One team was assigned to follow her everywhere, paying attention to her daily activities and interactions. Another team focused on tracking her phone calls, listening for any conversations that might reveal something important. A third team took charge of investigating her bank records, looking for any unusual transactions that might suggest a motive. This wasn't a short-term operation. It lasted for months. The police knew that even the most careful criminals make mistakes over time, and they were willing to wait for Sophia to slip up. 5 months after Sam's death, the police uncovered a big clue. They discovered that Sophia had transferred Sam's car to a man named Arun Kumar Soman. Shortly after that, she opened a joint bank account with him. In a bold move, she transferred all of Sam's money into this new account. The surveillance team, keeping a close watch on Sophia, had also noticed something strange. She had been secretly meeting with Aaron for several days. The two would meet in quiet places, sometimes in a park in Melbourne, other times at a small cafe, always careful to keep their meetings hidden. At the same time, another team of officers was secretly recording their phone conversations. These calls added up to more than 100 hours of talk. But now the big question was, who exactly was Arun Kumar Soman? And how was he connected to Sophia and Sam's mysterious death? The investigation was starting to lead down a new path, and the police were eager to find out more about this man and what role he played in the case. To understand how Aaron entered their once happy lives, we need to look back at Sophia's past. In 2003, Sam was ready to marry Sophia. But before taking that big step, he decided to move to Dindigul, Tamil Nadu, to complete his MBA. During this time, Sophia had her own plans. She joined the Mahatma Gandhi Institute in Kottayam to study for an MSc in electronics. It was at this institute that she crossed paths with Arun Kumar Soman. At first, Sophia and Arun became good friends. They spent a lot of time together, studying and chatting. Over time, their friendship grew stronger, and what started as a simple bond eventually turned into something more. Sophia, despite being in a committed relationship with Sam, started to develop feelings for Arun. As their connection deepened, Sophia found herself falling in love with Arun, so much so that she even proposed to him. The two became very close. As their college years came to an end, Arun graduated and secured a job in 2005. Meanwhile, Sam and Sophia, having completed their studies, reconnected and started spending time together once again. What shocked Sam, however, was that Sophia never told him about her secret affair with Aaron. Then, in 2008, Sam proposed to Sophia, excitedly sharing with her the news about the job he had secured in Oman. It seemed like their future was finally coming together, and shortly after, they got married in a beautiful traditional Christian ceremony. A year later, Sophia gave birth to a son, and their little family started to grow. She took up a job at a company in Bangalore while Sam continued working in Oman. Separated by distance but still maintaining their relationship, to the outside world everything appeared perfect. They had a happy family, a beautiful life, and nothing seemed out of place. But deep down, nothing was right in Sophia's heart. Even after marrying Sam, Sophia found herself crying every day. She would write her emotions in a diary, which later turned into a crucial piece of evidence in court. Since Sophia's sister was already working as a nurse in Australia, one day she invited Sophia to join her, saying she could find a good job there that would suit her degree. Sophia decided to apply for a job in a company, and to her surprise, she got selected. So she moved to Australia with her son, excited for the new opportunity. Meanwhile, Sam, who was still in Oman, often asked Sophia to come there so they could live together and be happy without the distance between them. However, instead of joining him in Oman, Sophia quickly decided to move to Australia. There was a reason behind her decision, and it wasn't just about the job. The real reason Sophia moved to Australia was Aaron, who was already living there. Sam, wanting to be with his wife and son, requested a transfer within his company and was moved to their branch in Australia. However, Sophia had come to Australia not just for the job, but to spend time freely with Aaron, thinking that no one would interfere with their secret meetings. But when Sam arrived in Australia, Sophia saw it as a problem. Frustrated by the situation, Sophia confided in Aaron, saying, "How long will we have to meet like this? We both should become one." This conversation marked the turning point. They began to plan to remove Sam from their lives. And soon, Sophia started considering the unthinkable, killing Sam to make her life with Aaron a reality. After moving to Australia, Sam started noticing changes in Sophia's behavior. Within a few days, he began to suspect something was wrong. He often questioned her about where she was going and what she was doing, but Sophia never gave him clear answers. This led to frequent fights between them. Despite their problems, every year they traveled to Kerala to visit their family. It was during one of these visits in October 2015 that Sam made a chilling statement. He told his family that he felt he would die soon and asked them to bury him near his grandfather's grave. No one knew at that moment how true his words would turn out to be. After returning to Australia just 2 days later, on the night of October 14th, Sophia put her deadly plan into action. When Sam came home from work, she handed him an avocado milkshake that she had prepared. Sam had no idea that she had secretly mixed sleeping pills into it. He drank it, and within minutes, he lost consciousness. At that moment, Arun, who had been hiding inside the house, stepped out. Seeing Sam unconscious, Arun told Sophia to prepare an orange juice. Without hesitation, she made the juice, and this time they mixed a deadly amount of cyanide into it. With no mercy, they poured the poisoned juice into Sam's mouth. The effect was immediate. Within moments, foam started coming out of his mouth, his body convulsed, and he took his last breath. After everything was done, Arun and Sophia stayed in the same place where Sam had died. Once they were sure there was no danger, Arun left the house, leaving Sophia behind. That night, Sophia slept right next to Sam's lifeless body. The next morning, she started her act of grief. Her performance was so convincing that even the police believed Sam had died naturally. She cried in front of everyone, pretending to be a heartbroken wife. She even showed her young son his father's lifeless body, acting as if she had nothing to do with it. After the funeral, Sophia returned to Australia and continued her relationship with Arun. The two believed that their horrible secret was safe, and no one had suspected them. But they had no idea that their actions had already caught the attention of one sharp-eyed police officer. While keeping an eye on Arun, the officer noticed something strange. Arun was visiting the same bar frequently. This gave the officer an idea. He started going to the same bar, carefully watching Arun's every move. Slowly, he struck up a conversation with Arun, pretending to be just another customer. But in reality, he was laying a trap, waiting for the moment when Arun would make a mistake. Without knowing he was a police officer, they became good friends. One day, when he was drunk, Arun started talking too much and revealed the truth about what he had done. Once Arun passed out, the officer took his phone and started checking through it. That's when he found the biggest proof, Arun's call records with Sophia. With this strong evidence in hand, the police requested the court to dig up Sam and do an autopsy. The court agreed. While the officers were questioning Sophia and Arun, Sam's body was taken out from the grave in Kerala. The autopsy results confirmed that his body contained cyanide. During questioning, both Sophia and Arun finally admitted. The judge handling the case gave Arun 27 years in prison without parole, and Sophia got 22 years without parole. Hearing the punishment, Sophia broke down in tears and begged for a shorter sentence, saying she had a son. But the judge replied, "It's better for the child that you're not with him," and gave his custody to Sophia's sister Sonia. However, Sam's parents also fought for custody of the child. The court listened to their request and decided to give the child to Sam's parents instead. No secret stays buried forever. Truth always finds its way to the surface, just like justice.